So you want to get your first bike and you're thinking about getting a 300, getting a 250 or something around those lines. Today I'm going to drive the 2016 Yamaha R3 300cc bike, and I'm going to tell you my experience about it. Here she is. Don't mind the color. These are new fairings and they need to be painted. So let's go ahead and take you on a little ride on this thing and talk about how she behaves in traffic, how she behaves in the highway, and a little bit of my riding history. So let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, this is my first motorcycle video. So the audio might be a little bit funky. I couldn't find a microphone this time, so I'm just wearing this wire. So just bear with me here a second while we talk about the Yamaha R3. Look at this idiot. God, what is she doing? Alright, so here we go. Back at it. So, you're in the market for your first bike, or not even a first bike. Let's say you're in the market for a commuter bike. A 300 or a 250 or a 400cc, anything in that range, it's a great commuter bike and it's a great first bike. Unlike some YouTubers that I have seen videos of that says that you should get a 600 as your first bike and all that. I mean, yes, you can. Actually, you can get whatever the hell you want as your first bike, but you're not gonna enjoy it as much as getting a small displacement. I started with a 2001 Ninja 250. That was my first bike. And I hated the look of it, so I changed it up and made it into a naked bike. And I used to love that thing. And then I got into bigger bikes. I went through a cruiser stage. I had a Honda Rebel 400, which I'm gonna put the pictures up here. And then I had a Honda Shadow 1100. And then I went back to the sports bike and I got 2001 Yamaha YCF 600R. I love that bike. I still have it. I'm gonna make some videos on it. But the thing is, with the 600, like, I love driving it, but I don't have as much fun as I have with a 300. And it's like they say, it's more fun to drive a slow bike fast than riding a fast bike slow. I hate commuting on the 600 because in the low end, it's just a little clunky. It's not as smooth as this, plus it's carbureted. But on the highway and on long stretch roads and curvy roads, I love it. I mean, it's an insane bike. And it's not even all that. It's the little R6 brother, so. But I mean, that's all the power I need in a bike. I'm really not into liter bikes. I don't get how somebody needs so much power to have a liter bike. But to each their own, of course. I'm happy with a 600, and I'm extremely happy riding around in a 300 because you can do stuff like that. A lot of people think that this is a bigger bike than what it is. And it's super comfortable. I could ride around for a few hours without getting tired. It doesn't go past 110. And you could rev it up and have fun with it and not go crazy. Like my 600 goes almost to 100 in second gear, and this doesn't. This goes to like 50 in second gear, and then you go to third gear and you could take it up to almost 70. And you could play around with all your gears. You could go through all your gears without a problem and just, you know, have a blast in it. And it's very maneuverable in traffic, as you can see. Engine braking is really good. The brakes, I'll suggest, if he has Owen brakes, to replace the brake pads. I got some better brake pads for it, and it brakes so much better. It's a great bike. I found this one for $2,500. because it has a reconstructed title. And it was very minor damage. Everything was fixed on it. And I don't mind that, because I'm just gonna probably ride this for a year or so or more and just get my money back for it. I'm trying to get my wife into riding, so I'll probably just teach her and give her this bike so she can ride around with me. So I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I am gonna paint it. I'm gonna paint it myself. I'm gonna make some videos about doing that and see how it looks. I haven't decided on a color pattern. I'm thinking I'm just gonna do red, just because here in Philly, people don't really see motorcycles, and I just wanted to be flashy so people can see me. There's a riding season here in Philly, and not everybody is on the lookout for motorcycles. But yeah, if you're in the market for one of these guys, you should definitely get one. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. A lot of people say they grow out of it. I didn't grow out of a small displacement. I mean, you could have a mix. You could have a mix of both and have, you know, a 600 or you know, a bigger bike and have like a small displacement for daily commuting, and you won't regret it, because the amount of fun that you can have in this thing, it's not the same fun that you could have on a bigger bike. Mind you, that I have a lot of fun on my 600, of course, because it has a lot of power and you could just go fast and it's like endless power on that throttle. But I usually have more fun when I'm riding this thing than when I'm riding my bigger 600. I also own a scooter, a 150cc scooter that I have for a while. I barely use it anymore, but it is very comfortable. I'm probably gonna make a video riding around the city in that thing. It's a 150cc King Kong-like fuel injected ABS, which is pretty cool. It does not feel like your typical scooter and goes up to like 75. So, I mean, it's pretty manageable. But yeah, it's a pretty great little scooter. And this is why I love this small displacement bike. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn around. I wanna see if we can go up to the highway. So let's get out here and make a U-turn somewhere here. All right. Let's go ahead and make a left. So this is the Bustleton area of Philadelphia. All right, so we're gonna try to take this up to a highway and see how it does on the highway, because city driving is perfect. I mean, there is no need for extra power with this bike on city driving. You could pass any car that you want without a problem. I mean, anywhere that you are in the rev range. But yeah, the way I started with a Ninja 250, and I taught myself how to drive, and I started watching all these YouTube videos. My main guys to go to was Yami Noob and Dan the Fireman, and I got a lot of good advice from those guys, and it really helped me with my riding experience and my riding learning curve. Went to parking lots, I went around, and I try to put as many hours as I can. I have like around a year riding. I'm not an expert, but I did take good advice from Dan the Fireman, and I took good advice from Yami Noob, and watching all those videos. I make it a habit of being completely alert to my surroundings, because in all reality, at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own safety, nobody else's. I'm just gonna start vlogging some of my rides. Here in Philly, you see a lot of interesting things when you're riding around, especially if you go to North Philly. I try to avoid North Philly, but I could definitely do a video of the North Philly area and how bad down there is, and you know, the badlands of Philly and whatnot, I usually ride up here in the northeast area of North Philly. And, ooh, that's nice over there. What is that? All right, let's make a left over here. The Yami move, keep the right leg on your brake, put the left leg down. That was the first thing I learned when I was riding, so I wouldn't look like a dumbass on a stoplight, which there's nothing wrong with. But right now I'm not riding with a lot of gear. I just have my gloves and my helmet. I never go out the house without my glove and my helmets. If I'm going on really long distance rides, then I put on my jacket and some riding boots. You should wear your gear at all times, but I usually have short rides. I pick up the kids from school in the scooter, or this one I don't pick them up in the 600. I don't feel comfortable picking up the kids from school in the 600, but they love it. My kids love getting in this bike. They have tons of fun, and that's another thing. If you're thinking about having fun with your kids on a bike, this thing is great. It's light, it's nimble, and with a small child in the back, you could hardly feel it. And I had my oldest, which is 11, on my 600, and maneuvering was easy, but you could feel that somebody was back there because the bike is heavier. But in this thing, it's just awesome. It's just really, really awesome. But yeah, don't listen to all the squids that say that a small displacement bike is not a man's bike. I mean, the whole thing about riding a motorcycle is the experience of the motorcycle. It's being on two wheels. I mean, you're no less of a man riding a 150cc or riding a 1000cc. If somebody hits you, they're gonna hit you exactly the same. I'm about the experience of riding. I'm about the experience, the road, the two wheels, the bike itself, what I can do in it. Not about how big the engine is. That's the same thing as people in V8s and big engine cars, and they say, oh, get a real car. It's a bunch of bullshit. If you ask me, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's like, it's whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you like and enjoy riding. That's the right type of bike for you. So don't ever feel discouraged by a small displacement bike. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get this bike up on the highway and see what type of speed she can do. There is a video on YouTube that I saw. I forgot who it was from. I gotta look up the name. And it said it's the Yamaha R3, big enough for a man. Like, those type of titles, they're just like ridiculous to me. Because it's like I'm saying, it's whatever you want to ride is whatever you want to ride. I don't see how that has anything to do with manhood. A lot of people just forget about the experience, about why are we doing this, and the freedom that comes with it. But yeah, whatever. That's just my 2 cents. I hate being at intersections. This is the most dangerous time for a motorcycle, is being at intersections. Okay, let's go now. With the Yamaha R3 2016, I mean, this is the perfect starter bike. This thing has a gear indicator, this thing has a shift light, this thing has a gas indicator, digital speedometer. I mean, it has everything that a beginner will need. So this is the infamous Roosevelt Boulevard from Philly. It's categorized as a very dangerous place. It is. Knock on wood, which I don't have right now, but I will later. I have never had an accident here. Knock on wood again. But and I've been living in Philly since '98. So, I mean, I haven't been driving since '98. definitely get a small displacement bike. So at the end of the day, I highly recommend getting one of these as your first bike, as your commuter bike. These things are great. I mean, just a small displacement bike, period. Doesn't have to be this one, but this is the one I'm doing on the video, and I'm biased towards this one. I had the Ninja, I had other small displacement bikes, and I love this one. This is a great little bike. It has everything that you need. It has the right amount of speed for the type of engine that it has. It's comfortable. It looks nice. It looks pretty damn cool, and you're gonna have a blast. So until next time, I'm gonna sign off. Thank you guys for riding with me and joining me on this ride. Until the next one, see ya.